where one single win propels you up. As you said, here we go. 2 and 4 to be finally broken by Team Heretics or SK as we go into this first game of Week 3. Now, Rob, Varus is a must-go. We know every region here in 26.2, it just has to go. Ryze is starting to get attention. Jace is still getting the same attention in jungle. In fact, a triple jungle ban by SK.
Yeah, Azir still very, very popular though, and incredibly strong in that mid lane. So wouldn't be surprised to put some emphasis on that pick. But as you say, like that Rumble is still there. So with the Ryze gone, maybe it's the Azir ban as well. And then Orianna starts to rise up in priority. So we'll have to see. Actually, it's going to be the Yunara. So I wouldn't be fully surprised here if we end up seeing Heretics the SK take the Rumble and then end up going, hey, we'll just take the opposite side of Orianna or the Azir, whichever side we want to go for.
Right, that Rumble is just a no-brainer, right? Let's see if Tracyn gets a lock in here of the Cassante. Played it twice already alongside his Rumble. They're both the most played. Tracyn's also been that kind of carry player with the Bruiser, like the Ambessa, like the Gwen. He's getting some praises on social media at the moment, and we can see if he really follow that through. Cassante, again, if you're talking about no-brainers, he fits the cake.
I did think, though, they'd try and maybe take away some of the setup for the Rumble. Like, Wukong, very strong. Like, Rumble, Wukong, a great pick together, especially if you're going to be giving, like, an Orianna across as well, because suddenly you've got kind of that hot pot combo. Or even something, especially with the Jarvan gone, that's kind of where my eyes start to teeter towards. But we'll have to see, as Heretics still have their option here. I imagine you want to take Azir or Orianna in this position.
You'd think so. Okay, Aatrox jungle for Sheo. His first of the season, but not the first we've seen. I still believe after last week, this is a 4-0 pick. I'm just going to double check that, but it has been a huge pick in the LEC that's been rising up as the Pantheon in response. Azir, a must take, and Leader's not going to be in a melee champ. We're going to see how he goes on something that's a bit more functional in team fighting.
There's the Orianna trade. So nothing too crazy. At least with the Rumble and Pantheon, you've already got a couple of melee champions that'll enable this Aatrox coming through from the jungle, which will be nice for Sheo. Especially as you imagine Mikyx's going to go towards something like Analyst or something along these lines that at least will be a little bit more front-loaded. So I think for Heretics, with the composition you have at the moment, you're kind of happy, honestly, with the way things are going. Until you get something that can really enable the Rumble in this draft for SK, I think Heretics are okay.
All right, let's see what the engage gets piled on as we go to the second ban phase. Quick sidestep back to that win-loss rate. Real Edge, I remember that Na'Vi game last week that they did in fact lose. That was kind of unexpected. I believe it was against KC, but it is now 4 out of 5 with win-loss in jungle. So still a very big pick as we start banning away 80 carries. Okay, Vedius Corki straight off the board. Dagda, we are limiting here for what can actually be picked up because I'm counting 480 carry bans so far.
I'd imagine it'll probably keep going. I thought Heretics would kind of limit more the support pool, to be perfectly honest, because I think you're relatively okay with kind of trading any sort of AD carry here. Right. Like, you've still got Kai'Sa in an okay spot, and the Jinx if you really want to. Things like Caitlyn still exist as well, so I think you're okay with options in that bottom side. I thought you'd try and limit the engage tools more for SK, because if you have to rely on just Pantheon, it doesn't really end well.
That's why you're so right about that engage tool. With Misfortune gone, Team Heretics seem to think that, okay, what SK are going to be able to pick as our option after we get this 80 carry is going to be gone. Or rather, is not going to be as good. Caitlyn, you mentioned before, that's straight taken off the board. So a bit of range to add into the mix. What's left? The last range 80 carry, I would say. Jhin has good setup here, Dagda, can help match the Rumble that you're concerned about. Now what do SK have to finalize?
Yeah, I think you're in a bit of an awkward spot. Okay, they're just going to go for the Xayah, so definitely fairly far down the tier list, but Xayah Rakan in a decent spot. Yep. You can also now take the Leona if you want to, for Stend, have a very strong bottom lane and good CC setup for like things like the Aatrox and the Orianna. The Alistair, kind of okay into it, and it's not the end of the world if you want to go towards it, but I imagine like rounding out some sort of engage tool here to enable a lot of that would be stronger.
You need engage, right? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Are you concerned about how Heretics start fights, or do you think a lot of these ulti, but like Orianna, Jhin ult, do you think the setup is enough?
I don't think it's too bad for Heretics, just in that relatively short range on SK, right? You've got 3 melees in support jungle top. Xayah, relatively short range for an AD carry as well. So in theory, they should be coming into you to take that fight, which will help out in enabling, especially with like an early Shurelya's pick up for the Karma, the Mantra Shield to speed you up as well. And plus, that Jhin does have that ultimate to kind of help you with the curtain call and also the deadly first start fight. So it's not the end of the world. I think it just would have made things easier for Heretics. But at the end of the day, like, I think a lot of this is going to come down more to like how this early game goes. Because if you look at SK's wins have come when they've had strong early games, where they can play around Skeanz, setting up Wunder an awful lot of the time, if you look back at their game from Monday. So I think that'll be where we'll start to see that aggression from this Pantheon in the early stages to try and snowball the victory for Heretics. And it's really on Sheo to be on point and shut down those early plays. Be the same Sheo he was last year.
Because it's a mixed bag, isn't it? Sheo so far this split has not been that same Sheo, that not that top 3 jungler that we highlighted. The LEC has big bar and Sheo needs to return to it, or Team Heretics will fall by the wayside. The battle of the 2 and 4 is the battle of SK versus Heretics. It begins now. Welcome to week 3 of the LEC. And let's see if Heretics can keep their enemies at arm's length, essentially, as you were saying before. Because they've got a bit of range on their side, and SK, if they run into them, well, if they find their engage on Heretics, maybe it'll be a very different story. But you did say Skeanz, and I like starting there at the point of, on this Pantheon, seeing what he can do. Especially
because I think Skeanz is going to be a bit more on his lonesome. One of the things about Jhin Karma is that you have a lot of push, you have a lot of aggression in the lane, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Mikyx to try and get out of that bottom side. And maybe that's what the game plan is for Heretics here, to try and stop Mikyx's roams. Hello. But so much of Mikyx's playstyle at the moment has been babysit mid. Try and cover mid, right? And you've got the Orianna now who can, in the least level, the early levels, play aggressive, try and get pressure in this lane. I'm curious if it's about trying to isolate Serin versus Leader and try and bully Leader, who hasn't looked as strong on some of these control mages.
Oh no, some of his lanes haven't been great, but even more so, some of his plays, the Echo game that you and I were casting last week, Dagda, was, not the greatest team fighting. So Leader's copped it a little bit, to be fair, but it is a team game, as you all know, and in this environment these days, let's not forget, we're talking a lot about schedule. We're talking a lot about the scoreline. Reason being, because team strength of schedules are super important, because in a best of 1, you only face each team once, 11 games in total.
And as you can see for Heretics, it's not an easy load. Like, you've got SK, KC Blue, okay, that's all right. But MKOI, Fnatic, and KC itself still to play. Like, that is going to be a difficult back end of the week. So at this stage, I think for Heretics, this is a must-need win to try and bolster up those stats when it comes towards the scoreboard.
SK on the other side, I can tell you exactly what they're going through, because it does feel like they have a slightly easier end of split. Giant X are a big question mark right now, but with this win, which is potentially playoff deciding for either team, by the way, I would say that SK can round out. They have lost returners and they have shifters. Winnable matchups for them if they play like Wunder did on that Kennen game.
Yeah, and I think it's, as Leader was saying in the interview with Janiro earlier, just, they have to find their style, play fewer champions, figure out exactly what they want to do. And I think in that sort of situation, SK, we have seen moments that look good. Like, you look at SK versus Fnatic. I think the surprising one to me, though, is just how strong Wunder has been for this squad. Because you look back at Wunder historically, and he hasn't been the, go-to carry. But Wunder's been insane.
He's normally
a facilitator. He's been so good.
Yeah.
Like, look at that damage percentage for him. He's been popping off. And I think Wunder has really been the focal point. And Skeanz might be agreeing with me as he's sitting up on this top side. I think it's just for Scuttle. But still, I think Wunder, he looks fantastic. And especially on a lot of these picks, like the Rumble, like that Kennen. It's a difficult matchup in some situations, but he's making it work.
Oh, that Kennen game versus Fnatic, you're right. The flashback to that was crazy. And that's when you saw SK not as just a bunch of old men, but a bunch of mature men. That's the difference. When people call you old, it's offensive. But when people call you mature, it's a respect thing.
What was the graphic we had? Their average age is 24 and a half, 25 and a half or something we had the other week?
And I can't remember, our youngest team is still KC Blue? Did we decide that? It was 17 or 18 or something?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
But also, I remember our great analyst desk put together average game time, or rather time in the LEC as Ice. That face check almost cost him. Skeanz was going to flash, but he didn't want to risk it. Ice had barrier and flash himself, of course, so not going to get anything there, and now they know Skeanz is bot.
Yeah, I don't think it's the end of the world, though, because you kind of assume it, right? The cams are starting to respawn. You have an idea that he's on that bottom side, so it was kind of implied information already. But Skeanz just poking his head in to see if he can make anything happen. But again, I think this is where we're going to keep our eyes on what Mikyx can try and do, because you can see him floating in towards the mid lane here. I think it's just a cover. make sure the leader is able to push out and get the reset that he needs, especially in low mana. But his impact, I think, is going to be sorely missed because of the pressure Ice and Stend have on this bottom lane right now.
Mikyx does like paying attention to mid though, doesn't he? It's not the first game that we're talking about Mikyx hovering over leader. Leader low on mana, as you said, helping get that push out as Serin is just teleported back. Teleported back with a mana crystal and Lucid boots. Not often do we see that as like the first kind of rush for an Orianna. Mikyx's going to be okay here.
Mikyx should be fine. There he goes.
W, son.
I think this is probably an adaptation because of the matchup. Like, oftentimes, especially with a Pantheon, like, you burn the flash early, you hit 6 as the Azir, and you just rinse and repeat over and over this gank in mid to kill the Orianna. The summoner spells being back up at least can nullify a little bit of that. And the fact that this flash hasn't been burnt already, I think will just keep Serin a little bit safer in that mid lane. And he just wants to scale. Like, in this matchup, that's all you really need to do is get to that later point of the game as Orianna.
It's putting hope in the fact that Serin, as you said, can be part of that space creation device, for lack of a better name. I'm trying to rephrase what you said in pick ban, because it is interesting. Like, I feel like comps without hard engage Dagda, or rather, but you know, like Nautilus, like very easy supports that press Q and set up as one of the setups there. Serin does flash away. Skeanz was nearby. Further to my point, a shockwave comes through. That was one of the big devices. Now down, but a flash down from leader in response.
Great trade back from Serin though, because one of the things that makes you very vulnerable, that we just said, is Orianna flashless in this matchup, especially if leader gets to hold on to his. But because leader had to flash away, now that potential of that flash Emperor's Divide is completely nullified. And Tracyn and Sheo now fighting for the scuttle.
What are we doing here though? Tracyn does have the all-out. Wunder's already used the equalizer for the wave. Not up and available. Flip back from Tracyn is good. But Sheo really wants that scuttle crab. They both do. The difference is it's dangerous. Aatrox is small engaged down in bottom. Meanwhile, Ice just gets chunked out massively. Beautiful trade from Jopa as Mikyx avoids the deadly flourish in the meantime. Camera went away from top because it looks like in the end, Team Heretics will get their grub.
It's a nice trade from Mikyx though, using the fact that he had the passive shield to absorb the 4th shot and knows that then there's the reset coming through on the 4th shot, so ends up opening up a window for Jopa to go aggressive, and now very strong underneath the turret. And as long as they can keep Ice in this position while he is going to reset, you're in a much stronger spot as SK because they're not able to play as aggressive on the wave state. But you can already look, there is that CS lead opening up for Ice and Stend off the fact that it just kind of sucks as Xayah and Rakan to be short range of playing into this.
See if it gets better with the BF sword difference. Lethality, of course, picked up by Ice now. As well as the fact the wave is pushing in, so home guards might lose a minion or two, depending on what we see in bot and what wave we're on. I don't exactly keep track. Leader just gets a bit of the Genomite and runs out. Oh, he took 2 turret shots, so hang on. Stend gets the slow. He just used flash for the turret plating leader, for the turret plating son. There's not many claps in the audience because I think they saw the boo-boo. All right, all in, maybe to fix it. Skeanz comes in and Serin's just dead and instant. Big shutdown. SK now on the board as well. Phew.
I mean, it's kind of recovering it, but that was a massive mistake from leader. No excuse. Like, you don't need the turret plate. You can back away, and you see the karma. You know she's got movement speed buffs and a shield. Like, you're never going to win that.
Just especially after using a flash. That is a mistake that you cannot afford to make. Now, recovery there for Skeanz as Dragon does go down.
But also, because Skeanz had to invest the ult mid and then that flash, you can't really try and force around the middle lane into any sort of play. So the Aatrox able to sneak over the wall, take that with Stend, and now you've got the Dragon stacking for Heretics off the back of leader's mistake.
Ice does get out of there. 4-shot helps, but he has to flash away from the root caller. Nicely done from Jopa. And this young prodigy, I mean, this guy's got some fingers, you know. There's some skill going on with Jopa. The Varus game, Dagda, from week 1 and week 2. My mind's a little bit fuzzy today, but I tell you what, I will not forget how skilled this guy is with the bow.
Day 3 of week 2, he had some great flashes over like Rakan Ws and setups and everything like that. So he definitely is playing well. And I think it helps to have someone like Mikyx alongside him as well, right? That veterancy kind of show you the ropes when it comes to a lot of the matchups. But nice side steps, and as you say, the hands working well for him.
Jopa again, good trade. Now you can see nearby Sheo has just backed off. He was setting himself up for the potential overstay of SK's bot lane, but nevertheless, heads back, gets himself Tunneler, Caulfields. He's got a Ruby Crystal in hand as well. Forget the boots for now. He does have Inspiration second though, so that's probably why. But 9 minutes in, Dagda, grubs are up, and it's being slow thought about here by SK. You can see Skeanz up in top. He's thinking about what angle he can bet, but once again, there's a fight over Scuttle. Looks like Team Heretics might win it.
Mikyx trying to roam up, but Stend is going to win out if they come to the fisticuffs, so ends up backing away. I think Scuttle Crab actually went over to Sheo, which surprised that. But there's not much on the map that SK can really do right now. The fact that you had to use that ultimate earlier, Skeanz, nullifies a lot of that global map pressure that the Pantheon brings. So, well, there's a move down to the bottom side at the moment, but I think Sheo sniffed it out.
Something does smell, doesn't it? Team Heretics, it's not you, Dagda, don't worry. It's probably me, you know.
Good
I just, bro, since having a child, I've just found I'm just always stinking. I don't know what it is, man. Probably her fault. God bless her, is that. All out and top. The pause. Wunder flashes away. Tracyn's got the blades out, but that's just a classic Cassante move, isn't it?
Yeah, and Wunder, fine. Still going to collect the wave. Still going to be relatively okay. It does open up Sheo because you've got that health advantage, though, for Sheo to move over towards the Void Grubs and pick them up themselves. Skeanz isn't really in the position to look for any sort of cross map, right? His camps are on the bottom side, he's just cleared them, moving top. You've already got resets on the bottom end, and the Cassante's already stepped away, so kind of just Heretics finding nice timing windows to pick up these dual objectives.
Well, that's what we know Sheo for as well, is Equalizer used just to thin out the wave in top. Having full control over the Rift in the early game, yeah, there's a gold lead from Skeanz, but it's come off the back of the kill. Sheo has been the objective master so far in this one, and for Team Heretics, gold's not really an issue anyway, because mid's got an advantage, support has an advantage, bot's even. That jungle top slight lead is mitigated by that, and the game's even at 11 minutes, bar the objectives.
Yeah, I think it's more so the kill that went to Serin. Like, the Orianna getting accelerated is going to be nice, especially if you try to play for, you know, 2-item spike with the Jhin, because you tend to go this like lethality build with the Jhin.
Yep.
So you have an opportunity to try and play around that spike, whereas, you know, you're looking at Azir, who kind of wants to get to his 3rd item. Jopa would love to try and get a little bit more damage into his kit as well before those feathers really start to hurt. Like, you're fine, I think, as Xayah with 2 items, but just comparatively, Heretics should hit harder.
Well, it's been a slow one, Dagda, so I hope the hardness gets a little bit harder. It's 1 minute 20 until next dragon comes up. Sheo's on the way down. Maybe going to sneak into this brush, but he's spotted out. Mikyx finds the engage. Maybe it wasn't in time. Jopa in the firing line as the world enders up, but he can't move. Sheo gets a bit of healing, dumps down as well. The rotation of Q's now down, though, as Ice Ball shot does nothing yet. Curtain call in the vicinity are SK, but moving out on the wing is Jopa. Now Mikyx onto Skeanz, and that's all. A lot down for Team Heretics as the play fizzles.
It's a good read from Sheo, though. Oh, Ice, that was not the step.
Up, and Jopa, he's waiting for the root once again onto Ice. Close getting the feathers out. Now finally the ulti, the root, the flash! This man has hands!
Huge mistake from Ice, stepping up too far. And Jopa managing to outplay, even dodging the 4th shot with the ultimate. SK picking up wins on the bottom side.
First kill over to the Xayah. Dragon's coming up in 30 as well, and that's going to change a lot.
I thought it was actually a great play to start things off from Heretics. Like, Sheo reading the potential play in the bottom side, making sure he was there to cover, because Ice didn't have his flash up and available. If you end up just everyone backing away from that play, you're happy. Skeanz doesn't have that ultimate, a large global threat off the map. But now Ice just ends up giving across the kill for nothing, and now it's a 1k gold lead for Jopa.
Huge lead as well. Stormrazor just picked up, and let's talk about advantage. Holy clean. Yeah, I know. Pull out the skull, I agree. Koi Academy's bot lane. Feels old, man. I can go back and tell you the year. Where are we? Was that 2023? Actually, it's not that old, is it?
You may not have time, though. Dragon started up here by Heretics. I don't think you're in a position to try and fight Skeanz still over by the red buff. And with the Cassante moving down, looks like Heretics just going to be able to pick up another objective. So you're kind of getting these small wins for SK, like with the fact that Jopa's got some kills for himself, but they're not really finding windows to actually use these advantages.
Just waiting for the smite. Yeah, SK not finding a piece, and double dragon over to Team Heretics.
Yeah, Wunder even TP'd down, so real mistiming on the window there from SK. Thought they could take the fight, but now Cassante's back up top. Wunder is now in the mid lane, and Leader doesn't have a TP, so there's going to be a wave at least lost topside by SK for trying to answer to that play.
So it's a little bit messy. And meanwhile, I mean, Jopa's still the one who's just chilling around, but Sheo's in the vicinity once again. Skeanz is ulti not up and available, so next 10-15 if something develops, which it won't. I was going to say there could be some action down in the bottom lane, but we're changing again, Dagda. Wunder's going to go down to bot. Return here from Jopa and Mikyx. Looks like they'll just head through mid. And with the lane allocation changing up as well, for Herald in 40 seconds, that's the next call.
Yeah, I think the window SK had to try and play is missed though. Like, as that dragon spawn, they just hit first item pretty much across the board. I think that's what they were hoping they could wait for, but too late back out onto the map. And now if you look on the opposite side, pretty much first items completed across the board for Heretics, so it's a much more even spot. And I think with the position that Heretics have, they should be in a position to at least contest.
Mid push from Jopa in the meantime though. The Genomite's going to be taken down. So Jopa does get a bit of crystal as Team Heretics come to respond. Again, 10 seconds, now 2, now 1. Just counting down. Herald's up. And 4 members of Heretics in the brush for now. Teleport advantage for Tracyn.
I like this from Heretics, grouping up to push mid-wave and guarantee they get into river. Like, the thing we were talking about is Heretics need SK to play into them. So if they're late to the objective, it becomes a little bit more difficult to do so. But if SK have to face check, Heretics have a little bit of an easier time in trying to take these fights.
Stend is just keeping them at bay for now as well. Feels like Heretics have been very good with spacing and like choosing when they want to approach as well so far this game. SK forced to step up, Deadly Flourish instead, and all this hovering. Mikyx gets pulled back and dies! I mean, SK, they're playing very coy, Dagda. I'm not talking about the team.
They kind of have to, right? They needed to get that wave push so they can move in towards this river area. But Heretics, using that fact again that they were grouped up, they controlled that spot on the map. And it just is too difficult for SK to really face check. And now Heretics, like they are controlling this map well, and all of the objectives are going towards them.
It's super easy for them right now. SK pose no threat. You know, despite the kill, despite the mishap in bot, it doesn't really feel like, as you were saying before, it doesn't feel like SK are really setting up or doing their due diligence in this game. Herald now over. And that means all objectives so far in this 16-minute game have gone Heretics' way.
And I think a lot of it has been the fact that, like, the moments SK have tried to play off of, like, Sheo has done a decent job of getting there ahead of them, right? Look at that play bot lane. Obviously, Ice fumbled the play after, but Red, Skeanz' potential play to the bottom side. Leader ends up overextending the mid lane for the place, which ends up giving that kill then, and Skeanz has to invest that ultimate again. So, like, the windows to play around that ultimate from Skeanz have gone away. And now you're in a position where you're actually pretty comfortable as Heretics. None of your towers have gone down. Orianna should be relatively safe in this side lane to farm up. We'll probably still need a little bit of help, but she's held onto flashes. There's been little threat in mid lane. Like, I think for Heretics, as long as you can hold on to this game and play it out slowly, you should be in a very good spot.
And Dagda, I just had a thought about some of these later game fights as well. How fun would it be to play Aatrox in this where you have ball plus Karma Shield? You just sprint at them, you fly at them, you know?
But that's the joy of it. You don't even have to, because Rumble, Pantheon, and Rakan all have to walk at you.
True, that's right.
So
fly at them and then come to me. Yeah.
Use a nice little gift basket. You know?
True. You get a gift from both angles. Mikyx, not in trouble, but he gets whomped a little bit. Next dragon's up in a minute, and I am very worried as Sheo gets over the wall and one of the balls on him, as well as Stend nearby, already fulfilling the prophecy I was foretelling. We got Dragon in 45, Dagda. If SK loses this objective as well, I don't know what's coming.
Yeah, I think Heretics are making a smart play here. Play heavily for blue buff, force Skeanz to react.
And he is reacting, and Vernal Chains pops him back. Sheo gets the shield. Mikyx come in for the engage. There's the quickness, but Mikyx, can't you see? I think that ulti hypnotized me. Now up against the wall, he finds the engage and equalizes him, but Sheo gets in the Herald and escapes. He's using it as a battle Herald. Looking for a knock-up, he gets Skeanz, gets the turret burst. The root from the Deadly Flourish from Ice is great as well. Team Heretics, I will say they've come out of this okay. Bit of damage onto Ice, but a bit of a whiff from the support of SK.
Yeah, I think SK wanted to try and pull the trigger, because the initial play, it felt to me, was Skeanz trying to play on towards the Orianna in the side lane with Leader. But now they've overforced. Their main engage tool is down.
Well, Skeanz going to make it himself, though. They finally get in a four-man shuffle from Leader. That's it, SK. Wakey, wakey. It all looks good as Team Heretics find a blow back, but they finally pull the trigger. We have been waiting years for that play in the making.
The flashes weren't quick enough on Heretics, and Leader sends in the soldiers, picks up the kills, and SK come alive.
Well, one play's all it took. Dragon goes down, and Skeanz was he just had enough.
He needed to do it. And a great engage, and then the flash from Leader. Ice is the only one that actually managed to get over it. And SK able to pick up the kills off the back of it. Really well played. And as you say, Skeanz with the flash in. Mikyx immediately with the follow-up. Heretics just pushing that a little bit too far, a little bit too confident after they saw that Mikyx had no ultimates.
Like playing a game with jump scares, you know, like observation duty have been playing, right? And they bring a new one out. And you think it's all chill, then the anomaly is just big spooky guy on the camera. And that person loves Jopa. You know what? I love him too. And I will say, I mean, Jopa has been clean, like, in the back of the fight. Look, I mean, I feel like I'm already impressed by this guy. What was more impressive to me is Leader, who's getting a bit of flack right now. That was a very clean play. He was set up by his jungler, but finally we got to see the comp come together. Finally we've been able to see what SK can do now that they're on a roll. Mikyx, he gets a launching pad from Skeanz. It enables the kill for Leader to pick up his first. Another one for SK, 3.3k is the lead.
SK with tempo is a dangerous beast, and Stend found out about it. Nice pick from SK into this topside jungle. And that should be plates. If not, and maybe the tower over to the Azir. Not quite enough when it comes towards the minion line, but you can see Leader going to do some serious damage to the structure.
All right, sidelines for now. Leader's, I guess, just chilling, and he's going to take this by himself. Sheo's coming up, though. So as I say, that defense is possible. Follow-up power from Heretics is not. SK also hovering all around this. Pings are going deep into the blue side jungle.
Yeah, Jopa and Mikyx have joined up with Skeanz just to put some pressure here. Sheo basically trying to isolate them from getting to the tower, and Serin with that Luden's Echo is enough damage to clear out the wave, so not really an opportunity for Leader to look for too much more. But as long as you keep having to invest here on the top side for Heretics, you see the resets for SK coming through. They will be back out into the map faster. I think that's going to give them that window to take that top tower, set up vision around the Baron, and just continue to get a gold into Leader so he can hit his spike.
Item soon to be on the way. Speaking of spikes, Jopa onto the third soon. He already picked up the Infinity Edge. I believe it was before that fight. Maybe that's why he just shredded through and destroyed.
Yeah, Serin needs to be careful here. He still has no flash available. And Mikyx's ultimate just about to come off cooldown as well. So for SK, feeling confident, just pushing on towards this top side. A couple of autos from Leader, yeah, we'll take the tower. That's what we're talking about, like the quicker reset from SK,
yep.
The TP coming through from Leader to get back out onto the map, and then at themselves their tower.
Sheo does get his own blue buff, which is nice. Mikyx's still behind, though. Note that Mikyx does have the bagpipes, so going to feel really nice for Jopa in the fight. I mean, you've got two on-hit carries. Like, Azir also benefits from the bagpipes as well, Dagda, so
yeah.
It's still such a broken item. What did they add? 200 gold to it in the latest patch? It's still good.
Yeah.
I think it's still, with its stats, it's still
I mean, in LPK,
20,
there's Casantes with building it, so...
No.
You know?
I did not notice.
Shout out to Analyst and Ox, the real bundle pipe savants.
We need more musical instruments in League of Legends. The bagpipes are only the start. We need some flutes. We need some clarinets. We need some drums. Like, this is only the beginning, you know? I feel like also, I just will say, the bagpipes need to be more tuney. Like when they activate, they need to be more. There needs to be a tune that comes out.
You want to hear the sound.
I want to hear it. What's the point in having a musical instrument in the game if I can't hear it?
Oh, this is dangerous. Leader.
All I can hear is him escaping. That's okay for now. Mikyx's got an angle over the wall. And he's absolutely okay. Dagda Dragon's up in a minute 10. That's why SK are getting real busy in this side of the jungle.
There's a huge amount of pressure from SK around wherever Leader it is in the map. We just saw it there where you had both Skeanz and Mikyx sitting in behind the Azir in case Heretics tried to make a play now. The walk through the jungle nearly ended up as a bit more of a dangerous jaunt, but either way, I think SK, like, they're happy with the way this is set up. Like, you can look at the vision that's in behind the back of Dragon Pit. They're going to get the resets coming through now as well. And honestly, with both Jopa and Leader here, this tower should just go down.
Got a bit of build-up as well, so that'll help. You see one whole plate taken, and yeah, mid-turret open, all outers open. SK have the map to themselves. One simple play as Mikyx tries to make it another, but narrowly misses onto Stend. 20 seconds till Dragon, and you know, perfect timing to deny Mountain Dragons from a Cassante. SK are looking prime to take the next objective.
Heretics trying to contest on midway and to move in, but as long as SK can control this spot, you can see Leader able to do some decent damage with the shoulders through these soldiers through these choke points.
Hard to say, I know.
I know, especially with his accent. But as Mikyx now set up.
Doesn't find the engage. Mikyx tries to get onto a Cassante. Tracyn is pretty tanky, but here's Jopa. clearing through, gets the root down. Tracyn still taking a while to die. Wunder needs to get in the mix as well. He's holding midway for now as SK still a little bit lenient on the Dragon to kick things off, but you can see Team Heretics, they're committing to this 5v5. They want to fight now. Tracyn wants to flip now as well. Deadly Flourish almost connects. Mikyx just used his engage tool. Wunder gets flipped around as well. Curtain Call now going to begin as well. Team Heretics getting close to the fight. The equalizer not too bad, but it's only really onto Tracyn and Stend. Wunder's now lost his objective, but in goes Mikyx yet again. Jopa gets the kill. Shockwave only onto leader. Jopa at half HP is Tracyn at half too, but I'd be a little bit scared if I'm SK. They're getting poked out. Serin's doing a lot of work, but he's low on mana. Dragon still goes down. A win for SK. Skeanz gets the stun. On Stend. A 1-for-1 in the long play, and SK are the winners in the end.
It's a 1-for-1, but crucially it's Sheo that goes down. So SK, they call for the burn, the Dragon, and they're just about able to take it. But like, this was a little messy. Like, good opening here from Heretics to try and get the damage down. The ultimate from Wunder splits the fight, but no one in SK really wants to follow up. But Mikyx gives his life with the engage from Skeanz to actually get the kill on towards the enemy jungler. And here SK, it's leader and Jopa just kill Dragon, like focus it down so we can actually try and get out of here. The Heretics still trying to use some of the poke that they have. But still SK, they get what they want. And it's 2 Mountain Dragons now in their hands.
2 Mountain Dragons, 3rd item for Jopa. I mean, this extra bit of sustainability plus, or I should say survivability to be technically correct. I think the big thing about it is Dagda's taking away from Team Heretics. Mountain Dragons for Cassante denied. And it's delayed soul for a team that, again, was already confident with how they were going and how they're scaling into the game. SK have firm control, 5.5k gold, just about. And we're now looking at a Baron, and it's not the slowest Baron. That's one hell of a Baron with bagpipes into the mix.
Yeah, 3 items on towards Jopa. Very, very scary alongside leader, who's no snuff when it comes towards the amount of damage that he can do as well. So for SK, I think again it's just take it slow. And the biggest blowouts we've seen for SK is when, well, you think back to like the G2 game where they just completely lose control in the early stages of the game and there's nothing they can do.
True.
I think SK, when they get to this sort of position, have enough veterancy on the roster that it does become a little bit easier for them to try and play at the map. Like, they understand how to play these 1-3-1 and pick scenarios. Jopa, oh my, where did he go?
Jopa does it again, okay. If there's one way to open up the possibility of Baron, it's there.
Yeah, just murder the karma before you can get anywhere. That was absurd, but yeah, I mean, I was talking about the veterancy, but the new guy, you know, he definitely wants to be talked about as well.
He does indeed, and Mikyx is going to give him something else to talk about. I see Mickey's angle. Jopa in the wing as well. Team Heretics have 3. Sheo's there. Mikyx's about to come on in. They want ice, and they're going to find him. He flushes over the wall, Skeanz, looking for the target now onto Tracyn the root back, and the giant Slayer passive, it's back all right, with passion. Jopa steps in, scared of nothing. Sheo goes in alone. Shockwave only finds Mikyx, who flashes out, dies in the end, but the problem is SK are grouped up, and right now are just better in their clump. Skeanz for the chase, Wunder too. Team Heretics looking for Jopa on the wing. They find leader who walls a little bit late, but Wunder steps in, cares not about the fire because he was born in it. And Jopa now stepping in as well. Serin, half HP, he's rooted back, he's feathered back. Sheo gets shielded up. This is the problem with the comp, but someone needs to kill the bird. Someone needs to kill the bird. Jopa gets another. Dominating for a reason, Dagda, 6-0-2. If he's not dead, Team Heretics ain't winning.
It's a bird and an Iron Man that managed to make the play work in the end. But it's a good setup here from SK. Immediately jump onto Tracyn. With the LDR set up for Jopa, he can tear through Tracyn. And I'm keeping my eyes on both the Azir and the Rumble as they try and come through here. But good flash from Jopa, again from that shockwave. And the follow-up damage is perfect. It's this lack of respect here from leader, though, that comes back to bite him. Because he ends up moving into a position, not respecting the bush. You can see Jopa is like, I don't want to go near that.
And then he's like, I'm going to go near that.
So exactly. So Jopa then ends up trying to follow through here. But with the positioning from Serin, it makes it very difficult for Jopa to really be able to follow up on that engage. And then Sheo at least able to get one back. But Jopa with some really nice positioning again, able to pick off one more kill.
Okay, yeah, no one wanted to see what I just did with my Rumble.
I didn't even catch it.
I did not. Again,
Maybe that's the point.
I was looking at the Star 80 carry instead. Navori's picked up. Jopa is the light of SK. Now, Wunder is mega fed as well. Let's not, excuse me, take the respect away from him. But it does feel like these fights are dictated by this Xayah. It does feel like, again, Team Heretics stepping into the zone. You talked about the range and draft, Dagda, and I'm seeing it again.
Oh, Serin.
All in, set up, shockwave on the spot, but Leader destroys him. More so, Wunder's ulti perfectly placed as well.
Yeah, just that one we spotted.
Yes, we did. That's a good one, Wunder. Don't worry about that. Tracyn, disrespectful positioning, but he is a Cassante. It matters not with 1 minion and more in the vicinity. SK open up in a turret bot. Dagda, Serin is down for 30 seconds, and Dragon's up in 10.
SK going to try and fall back. Leader has that TP to come back out from base as well. But honestly, with GA on Skeanz and the opportunity to just jump on folks, I think it's very difficult for Heretics to really take this fight. Rightfully so. They're going to just try and set up around Baron instead. Hope they can look for the big purple worm fight instead.
It's a strange game, isn't it? Like, one mistake, one fight from Team Heretics that went south, and SK again, they've got this huge star power, and I can't remember who said it a couple of weeks ago. It was at the start of the split where it was, someone was talking about SK and they were like, they can either be zero or they can be everything, right? I think a lot of people said that as Sheo. He's caught out Leader, steps on the spot, but hang on, SK, you're a bit close. Leader, you went over the wall, melee into an Aatrox. Let's think about that, yeah? Okay, Jopa's trying to carry and bring it back. The Feather is out, one is getting a Stend, flushed away. Ice from range. As Mikyx behind the Baron pit has to get out and he finds a path to escape. Team Heretics get the mid laner, and Leader was like, yeah, I've got to go in as much as possible as an Azir.
Yeah, could have tried to play over the wall. Maybe would have worked out a little bit differently, especially when it just comes to the raw healing that Sheo has, because that was what we're talking about in draft. Like, an Aatrox wants to hit multiple people with his Qs because you just get so much of that lifesteal back. But in that sort of situation, it ends up coming back to bite Leader, and it comes back to bite SK, because now you're off the map. Heretics get an opportunity to push out the waves, get an opportunity to relieve some of that pressure, and maybe try and get some of the standing gold on the map. But I mean, at the moment, it's just about survival and hoping this Rabadon's death cap from Serin can maybe hit that big ultimate you need.
Dagda, I'm just going to say it again. I say it every week. I'm going to say it again. It's not over till it's over. In the LEC, the Nexus got to fall. Otherwise, everything's on the table, and SK say, okay, Baron is there. Now, this is going to be mega fast. Sheo's coming in for the steal, but way too late. Good smite. SK get the objective. Baron puts it in more firmly in their pocket. Mikyx, he just used his engage. He now has to battle dance away, maybe back over the wall. Sheo is onto Wunder, and Wunder's stuck. He's going to go golden. He's burning alive, crisping, and he gets shut down. Mikyx found out again as well. And this is going to be 2 kills for the Baron. Nothing else is up, but that's something for Heretics.
I don't really understand why SK just didn't get out. Like, even just give Mikyx if you want to and get the rest of the team out.
Yes.
Because you can already see, like, Baron doesn't give as much gold anymore. So immediately you're starting out in a negative Red Bull Baron power play. And Skeanz, this may not be the phase check you think it is.
He was seen moving in. He has GA. He's flipped. He flashes away. He's dunked down. This is a tank and a big bruiser, but the turret should be enough to hold back. Sheo heals it up. Poked out with a curtain call. Skeanz decided to make this play. There's the redemption. And, like, what is happening here as the turret goes down with him?
It's a great question. I'll get back to you with that one, because I'm gonna need to check some notes backstage, because I don't know exactly what is going on with SK.
I mean, to be fair, it must have all been a ruse, because Skeanz dying there in top opened up a bit mid and opened up bot. So it was like a net neutral play.
I think the thought was Skeanz was like, hey, there should only be Cassante pushing here, and I can probably hold the wave. But it was just Sheo blind queuing into the bush to actually start that off. Worked out well. And you also had the follow-up from Ice, but massive mistake from SK. Again, like, you can... sure, you get some pressure on that bottom side, but you're taking people off the map. You have a minute left on this Baron buff, and, like, what have you done with it?
As we listen to the cinematics, you can hear the music. By the way, great season music. We'll have to just tangent and say, it sounds like I'm listening to 2 Steps from Hell. That's what the orchestra sounds like in the back. Is you wanted to see what they did with Baron. You want to see what they could do in the next 44 seconds in this minus 300 gold Baron power play. If they could get that plate maybe a little bit, but you're pointing at Wunder from the base. He's got a Rabadon's. Is that what you're excited about?
No, it's just you can't get anything. Wunder's gone to base, so you're off the map again. And that's kind of been the whole cycle of this play for SK, is just people constantly off the map because of these kills or because of these mistakes. So Wunder will catch the big wave boss, but like, look at that gold in the top right corner of your screen. You were the ones that got Baron, and you've gone down gold. It's not exactly ideal.
No, not the grand scheme of things as well. Dragon in 30, Soul for SK. It's all going to be on the line. This is where everything is decided. What items do you want to talk about, Dagda? He points a lot. You can't see it, but he likes to point at things. And he's pointing at Jopa's full items right now. Mikyx just flashed. Sheo got over the wall, but Sheo went over prematurely. The whole of SK sitting there waiting. He darts back over. Redemption heals him on the cusp as Tracyn now with an angle. SK get the grub, and that's more important that Scuttle gives the vision. Deadly Flourish from Ice. He's also got a bit of items, and with Rapid Fire Cannon, he can hit from even further back. Wunder and Mikyx looking for an angle, Dagda, but again, all on the line for this Mountain Soul.
Sheo's gone into the pit, but open up on the curtain call.
Tracyn's getting hit by feathers as well. 6k. Sheo, if he can stop this, it'd be huge. It comes down to a smite fight at 1400 for the steal. Sheo goes into the Winged Beauty, steps it back, but the engage from Mikyx might not be all that. It doesn't matter. Shockwave finds 3, but the Dragon goes over to SK. Wunder flashes away. A double room from Jopa is big, but Team Heretics at contest. Unsuccessful.
Wunder's ultimate there was on point. Completely cuts off the offensive and retreat play from Heretics. We see it here as Mikyx goes in over the wall. The Rumble ultimate groups Heretics together, which then sets up for Mikyx as he dives in onto the back line. Again, Sheo gets caught off, and the shockwave, really well orchestrated by Serin, but just not enough in the tank. Thanks to all those mountain dragons that have built up from SK, that shockwave just doesn't hit the way it's supposed to.
Especially with Sheo not alive. How else are you going to dunk down on them afterwards? So for Heretics, they've just lost Soul. The game still feels so hard for them, obviously favored for SK. Elder comes up in 5 minutes, and I got to say, with the way this game's going, with the edge that we're hovering on, you know, the diving board we're sitting on, scared to jump, it does feel like this will either come down to the next Baron fight, Dagda, or the Elder will decide it all.
I think it'll be the Baron. And if I'm SK, it's just a case of play off these 2 waves.
Yes.
Push in mid,
yes.
Control top,
yes.
Get all your vision down in that top side jungle,
yes.
and just deny any sort of access for Heretics to the objective. And that's where you can open up for plays from Mikyx for opportunities with leader. You can see Heretics, they just want to, while the waves are desynced, get as much pressure in this mid lane. So that wave now that's pushing in top can actually be dealt with, and SK don't have any sort of plays to move across the map with.
It begins. 35 seconds. All right. I'm listening, Dagda, but I just don't believe yet. Okay? My problem is trust. I've built trust issues in this league.
But the biggest problem is just that, like, the waves aren't situated. Like, this is where one wave is, whereas this second wave is coming down.
Yep.
And we're constantly getting Jopa clearing it out in mid. But if the waves are never synced, there's no pressure. So Heretics can group on mid as 5 here and actually push back Jopa and still manage to get across if they want to in towards river or to defend that top turns.
But face checking into Jopa, I mean, this guy's just running at them. This AD carry, the gumption. Does Mikyx look for another angle onto Sheo? Now that he's spotted out as this rush is massively controlled, SK look for the fight. They're sprinting. Mikyx, he's got an angle maybe onto Stend. There's the flash engage, the quickness as well. Mikyx found the enemy support. Heretics have lost Stend. Leader makes it a 4 versus 5 now. Baron is free.
SK move over towards the objective, and the pings from Heretics are down towards that bottom side. I wasn't sure if they still want to try and commit, to be honest. Like, yes, you lose Stend, but a potential shockwave might be the end of it. But this Baron, I think, will end the game regardless. SK move immediately towards the top side. The outer turret in their sights, and inhibitor turret's next to fall.
All right, let's fix it this time. Inner turret last time from leader, wasn't able to access. This will be easily done. Now it's about breaking the base, because if this Baron doesn't do it, then we do have to come down to that Elder. I think SK don't want to end up flipping the game as you said, there's a lot of tools from Heretics. The engage from Skeanz, though, into the back line, and leader flips and makes it so. SK running the base willy-nilly, but I wouldn't say so. Sheo just gets jumped on. Equalizer from Wunder is defensive, and Jopa is stepping forward. A triple turning, sour turning, beautiful. Stands up next and turning it into a quadra. A penta delayed. Jopa is him.
Jopa, welcome to the LEC SK, welcome to 3 and 4. And SK hoping that this might just push them into a welcome for playoffs.
The Jhin stops counting at 4, but Jopa can only count to 5.
SK, it was a slow early game. A couple of mistakes here and there. But once it got to the fights, Jopa popping off.